Ms. Miller, thank you for the kind words and warm reception. It's good to be back. There's nothing better than to be able to look out into the audience and see some former students, faculty and friends, and most important, members of the armed forces standing before us. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege today to welcome you to this celebration of those that have served. Very simply, this is a day to salute sharply all branches of the military that protect your country and you. They can be called upon at moment's notice to perform a risky and perilous mission for the nation and for the country. They train diligently, both physically and mentally, so they can be prepared to prevail in any mission they face. They literally defy death in training. Today, it seems our country is in uncharted waters in uncertain times, and we are relying on the collective action and the wisdom of our leaders to put us back on course. Just as in my car with a GPS, I hear that voice, recalculating, recalculating. As our country recalculates and makes the necessary course corrections, let me reassure everyone, as we go through this period of transition, it is our armed forces that will always be standing by your side to protect our way of life in this country. Standing before you today at the flagpole are a group of men and women that have never lost their way or put mission or put self before their mission. You can rest well knowing that they are always on duty for us. Look at them closely. They are very, very different. Notice the way that they dress, the pride they take in their military bearing, their confidence, attention to detail, and yes, even their politeness. More importantly, be assured that they have an internal GPS that will never allow them to lose their way. They have the self-discipline, courage, and the physical and mental toughness to do what is ever necessary to accomplish their mission. You see, in the armed forces, there is no every man or every woman for themselves mentality. They always work as a team and stand united against anyone so foolish to be our foe. You can count on these men and women in front of you today and around the world. Why can you count on them? We hear a lot today about values and ethics. Let me tell you about the core values that are instilled in each of them as a recruit from day one. Air Force, integrity first, service before self, excellence in all we do. These are much more than minimum standards. They remind us of what it takes to get the mission done. These values inspire them all to do their best at all times. The Army, key values of loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. I will always place the mission first, and I will never accept defeat. I will never, ever quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. Marine Corps, honor, courage, commitment. Semper Fi. Semper Fidelis is more than a fancy slogan. Marines are made, not born. 12 weeks of the toughest training in the world transforms civilians into members of the United States' most noble brotherhood. A distinct culture of traditions, symbols, and icons surrounds the Marine Corps, and every Marine has earned a place within it. Navy, I'm a U.S. sailor. I represent the fighting spirit of the Navy and all who have gone before me to defend freedom and democracy around the world. I proudly serve my country's Navy combat team with honor, courage, and commitment. I am committed to excellence in the fair treatment of all. Coast Guard, ready today, preparing for tomorrow. They protect the public from the environment and the United States' economic and security interests in any maritime region in which these interests may be at risk. I will ensure that my superiors rest easy with knowledge that I am at the helm, no matter what the conditions. Semper Paratus, which means always prepared, always ready. As you can see, there's a common bond amongst all of the comrades in arms, which is the glue that unifies us all. You see, in the military, we have the greatest fighting force in the world, not only because of our technology, our training, our doctrine, our tactics, but most because of the people who serve you in uniform before you and around the world today. We recruit and we retain the best people in the world. The American people understands this. They know this intuitively. Whenever they are asked where they place their highest confidence, they always point, above all others, to members of the United States Armed Forces. All those that have worn a uniform have joined in a common cause, linked by a common bond, what Army General Omar Bradley called the heritage of freedom. At the dawn of the 20th century, President Roosevelt said that all who serve and stand ready to sacrifice are the torchbearers. Here today, at the dawn of a new century, we are surrounded by the torchbearers of our times, both past, present, and indeed, even the future. Today, I see the future in the young students out here in front of us, around this flagpole, who will one day become the guardians of our heritage and our commitment to a future of even greater peace and freedom. More than anything, it is the youth here today that inspire our men and women in uniform in every corner of the globe. Each generation is responsible for the blessings of the next. Remember, we are fortunate in which men and women today volunteer to fight for this heritage all Americans can thus cherish. For those of you here today, for those aboard our ships, in the barracks far from home, on the flight lines and on the front lines, and especially for your families who sacrifice along with you and support you, this is a day of heartfelt celebration of your devotion to America and appreciation of the service that you give and the sacrifices that you make. I am tremendously proud to have been a part of this team that provides the necessary security for our prosperity, freedoms, and lasting democratic institutions. May we keep the troops in our thoughts and prayers as they work to safeguard our freedom, as we give thanks for their sacrifices on our behalf. To the men and women in uniform today and those veterans that have served this nation, I proudly salute you. We honor you because you are the guardians of our heritage of freedom, and America is eternally grateful for the blessings of freedom that you make possible. Know that we will always stand by you, united in strength, and always be grateful. Thank you for your service and leadership by example.